Hey everybody, Seth Campbell here again with another Segue Says video. Good evening and Happy New Year to everybody. As you can see, I'm back at home at the family piano while recording this, and the piano is very much out of tune, but it should still get the point across, so I hope you'll bear with me. This particular segue is a fun one. It only works one way. You can only go from one song into the other, can't go back or reverse the order or anything, because the two songs are almost completely different. Different sort of style, different keys, different tempos. Only thing they have in common is one pivot chord. So it's a very abrupt switch. And the two songs are Roy Rogers by Elton John, a very underappreciated song, I think, from the Goodbye Yellow Brick Road album, and Something by the Beatles. And by that I mean the actual song called Something by the Beatles, not just Something by the Beatles. And that's another point that you don't want to get me started on, because I've always felt that when you say Something by the Beatles, it sounds ambiguous. When you're trying to refer to a specific song, that's another story altogether. But the way I came up with this one, I'd love to say I have some incredibly clever story of, playing the one song and just on the spur of the moment deciding to go into the other song. But the fact is, they just came up back to back on my iPod. And Roy Rogers ended on one chord, and then Something started, and it happens to be the same chord. The first chord happens to be the same. So I thought, hey, that works. So, I'll take inspiration wherever I can get it. So while I'd love to take the credit for this one, I really can't. But in any case, since this is pretty abrupt, I'm going to play probably a little bit more of the chorus of Roy Rogers just to get into it and show you the type of song that it is. Since it's such an abrupt motion, I want to give you a little bit of context on how this goes. You probably know Something. Roy Rogers, you may or may not have heard of. Depends if you're familiar with the full albums of Elton John stuff or just the greatest hits, because unfortunately I never made the greatest hits. But the important chord here is F major. The entire Roy Rogers song is in F major. And it so happens that the first chord of Something is F major, even though Something is actually in C major. So you have the last chorus of Roy Rogers. And Roy Rogers is riding tonight, returning to our silver screen. Comic book characters never whose stories were told of a great sequin cowboy who sings of the plains, of roundups, and rustlers, and home on the range. Turn on the TV, shut out the lights, Roy Rogers is riding tonight. And there you have it. As it happens, I got the words wrong in the first verse of Something, but you get the picture. You know how that one goes, I'm sure. So there you have it. It's a fun, quick Segue Says for the new year, and hopefully as the year continues, I'll find the time to make many more of these, because I keep coming up with new ones and have a lot of fun doing it. And for those of you who watch this, hopefully you're having fun as well, and I really appreciate it, so I'll see you soon.